Today we're going to talk hats. We're not doing an unboxing today. We are going to talk about my favorite hat, which is a custom hat I had built many years ago. If you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the hat. I had this hat made in Fort Worth about 2012. And where I got the idea of the hat was a movie I had watched. Now the movie came out, I think, in '71. It's called The French Connection with Gene Hackman playing the lead detective in this story, Popeye Doyle. And he wore this hat. So I wanted a replica of this hat produced. Now, funny story about the movie is when they were going to make the movie, they asked the person that the movie was based on if they could use his hat. And he said no. And I totally understand that. If you know anything about hats and hat people, they do not like letting other people use or wear their hats. This is my hat.
There are many like it, but this one is mine.
So they had to make another hat for him to use in the movie, and I wanted mine to be a replica of that hat. Now, I got it as close as I could. The only way I could do that was I had to do some research and find out what the dimensions and the specifications were. So if you're going to go have a custom hat made, that's what you need to do. You need to know a lot of things about the hat so that you can tell them so they can make it. This is the hat. And so what I needed to know was the crown height, the brim width, size. They're going to size my head, so its size is going to be correct. I needed to know the color. I needed to know the ribbon width. So the research I found out, we can see this hat has a 4-inch crown, a 1 3/4 inch brim. It has a teardrop crease, and it has a 2-inch ribbon. They don't typically make 2-inch ribbons on hats these days, so you will have to request it. If you just told them just put a ribbon on, it would not have been like this. Now I had the actual bonus of having a picture of the character wearing the hat. So I had the dimensions, and they knew what it looked like or what it was supposed to look like. Like I said, this is my favorite hat. It also has a satin insert. Now, when I had this hat custom made, there were a couple of things that I didn't know and that are actually wrong when they made it. So the first thing is I wanted it to be a soft felt, but I actually asked for a medium felt. They asked me if I wanted a hard or soft. Now the hat maker, they are typically make Western hats, so their hats are hard. So I asked for a medium. I didn't really want it hard, and I didn't really want it really soft, so I asked for a medium. I didn't know you couldn't get a medium. So what they did was they went ahead and made it like they make hats. They made it out of hard. This is 100% beaver. I also requested my name and paid for my name to be put on the sweatband inside. It's a leather sweatband. And when I picked up the hat, I noticed, first of all, it was hard. Wasn't thrilled with that, but I was okay with it. Secondly, my name was just a little bit crooked because since it wasn't there, they fixed it right on the spot. And they took it back and they put my name in it. But the hat was already made, so they got it a little bit crooked. I'm okay with that also. The third thing is when they measure your head, they mark the center of your forehead, and that's where this crease, this forward crease, is supposed to line up. Now the hat has a ribbon in the back. That's the back. So this ribbon and the crease actually line up straight across, so it is centered. But the thing is, the hat is just a little tilted to the right, or I think it's to the right, so the crease is not centered on my forehead. It's off to the side just a little bit. I didn't notice it at the time. But like I said, these are things that were wrong with it, but these are also the things that make this hat mine. Now I got this hat made at Peters Brothers in Fort Worth. They've been at their current location since 1933. They're most famous for making the Shady Oak hat, which they have gifted to several presidents throughout the years. Most notably was John F. Kennedy. They gifted him one when he came to Fort Worth, and he never wore it. So what he did was he told the guy, he goes, "You want to? I'll put it on when I get back to the White House. If you want to see it, you can come there and see it." Of course, we know what happened after Kennedy left Fort Worth and went to Dallas. So he actually never wore the hat. The hat's been missing ever since. Nobody knows where it's at. Nobody can find it. Somebody has it somewhere, but nobody knows where it's at. It has never been found. So this is my hat. With the flaws in this hat, I've come to realize that all hats,
they are all perfect.
This hat cost me about $350 at the time. If you want to buy a nice hat, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. Even if you buy one off the rack, you can buy one off the rack for $100 or less, but those are not great hats. You want to buy a good hat, it's going to cost you somewhere between $150 to $500. Now this is custom, like I said, this one's mine. There is no other like it. If you are thinking about getting a hat and you know what you want, you can go and get a custom hat. Thanks for watching. Peace out.